stuff to do.
That's legit.
Okay, ready when you are.
Okay. Okay, I'd like to call the Greater Syracuse Property Development Corporation's regular meeting in order of Tuesday, September 16th, 2025. We had a roll call. I see one of the here. Notice posted. Okay, minutes. Has everybody had a chance to review the minutes? Yes. Is there any questions of the staff? Hearing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve the minutes of 1925.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Jonathan, you involved. On favor? Aye. Any opposed? Executive summary and financial statements.
Financial statements to the end of July are attached. If anybody would like to click on those. No. Okay, and the rest of it is-
Financial statements. So Jonathan, second. Second, Michael, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? New business, authorized sale of loan.
Start on page 24 of your packet. 102 May Ave is a cute little house, but it has foundation problems on 3 of its foundation walls, so it needs some significant renovations. This buyer is planning to flip it to an owner occupant and to have purchased from us before.
There's one little correction, it's in that we don't really the owner.
Oh, thank you. Press double check. There's that. Okay, next up, we have 2129 South Geddes Street, a vacant single-family home. Ben Roy Watson has also purchased from us before and does good quality work, and he will also be flipping the owner. Next, it is this pretty far south, right across the reservoir. 233 Genesee Park Drive is another one that would be flipped to an owner occupant. This buyer has not purchased from us before, but they have done significant renovations of this scale. 401 Salt Springs Road, we have 3 offers on. The only one that would owner occupy is Paul King, and he is also eligible for the public employee discount program. You're recommending sales to Paul King. And that's all we have this month.
Any questions?
So is his price then 25 or is it 50?
So he gets half off of the list price, so it's a discount of $12,750. So,
So 50 minus that.
yeah.
Thank you.
I just want to motion to authorize sale of multi properties. So, Jonathan, second. Second, motion now, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? So, Park 418 South Salina Street, the south side food picture.
You may know this building is Ruby sold recently, it's had a sign on it for a long time, it's been vacant for a very long time. What's the base?
Property with a lot of issues.
It does have a lot of issues, and it definitely needs a new roof.
It's been an isolated for decades.
Yeah.
I remember Ruby when she.
We've had it on the market for a while, and we haven't received any offers on it. The Southside Food Pantry, you may know, is our next door neighbor in the building where we lease on South Salina Street, and they are currently being evicted and about to lose their location. They're very, very eagerly looking for a new spot to move. This will require some renovations. The deputy mayor has committed to help her with fundraising and with getting her permits. So I think that gives me a boost of confidence in her ability to do this project.
We have like a scope of work and stuff like that for this one to help
We-
guide that process.
We don't yet, but we will draft something up that's just the minimum to bring it up in code. So there is a commercial kitchen in this facility that would need a significant investment to bring it back online. They don't really need a kitchen for their purposes, so we've been talking with Mike Collins at NPD about maybe just mothballing the kitchen for now and doing the bare minimum for them to get us certificate of occupancy. So we're working on that with code enforcement. They want to walk through the building very soon. And my recommendation would be that we have a development enforcement mortgage in place until they get the certificate of occupancy. And then in addition, because the recommendation is that we sell it for $1, we would take, what's our list price now?
I lowered it to 30s. Sorry, to
So basically they'd be getting a $30,000 discount. We would attach that as a second enforcement mortgage requiring that it has to be used for charitable purposes for at least 5 years. It is a daunting project.
So the second is the reverter will be first.
The development enforcement mortgage to be discharged once it's occupied, and then it's not a residency enforcement mortgage, but basically it's to enforce that it has to be used for charitable purpose. Would be a longer term.
Or it's taken there.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there with the property. This is the only property, the reason that this property is the only one, it's the only one that we have that's zoned appropriately that the food kitchen could possibly use. Or the food pantry, sorry.
We know the hour, what are the hours of it?
They're open a couple of days a week.
Wednesday 12 to 2 and Friday 2 to 5.
What's on all the days?
Given that they're being evicted and then this is going to take quite some time to get to where it needs to be, is there an interim plan that they have? You know,
Not that I'm aware of, but I would imagine they're dragging out the evictions law.
What are you asking, what they're being evicted for, or?
I mean, I've heard some gossip, but I don't know that I'm really privy to the information.
or how long's the food pantry been around?
Well, I'm not sure if they were operating from another location before this, but they moved in next door to us just shy of 2 years ago.
We were right next to Cubic.
So that's
She would probably be John. It's probably been, there's a lot to check with son, it's been here the last 7 years or so. It's a bigger project.
Yeah, and we don't normally sell properties for $1, but our logic here is that, you know, this is providing a critical service to the community, we don't see them without a location.
It's a huge relocation she serves.
It's pretty far, yeah.
Yeah.
Really big distance for that community to get
Yeah,
to that location. Because they typically walk to, she just moved up the street, no big deal, but that is gonna be a issue.
yeah, and Councilor Rouser mentioned that she thought there were a few other pantries that are close to
There are,
4418 South Salina Street, so she wasn't sure that it made sense to move that far south. But like I said, it's the only one that we have zoned appropriate.
be more comfortable if folks walk through there first, and we got a bigger handle on what it's a big project. I mean, that's not building you guys made, but then it's a lot, just because I know the property history.
Yeah. Dave, you're familiar with the condition of the building, it's obviously gonna need a new roof, and
Major factor. The building itself is in pretty fair condition on the inside. It's not leaking so much at the main building. There's a building that's on the side of it and totally done. The main portion of the building is pretty fair shape.
and I would imagine she'd need a new furnace.
Yeah. There's it's gonna have to be gone through. There's 2 bathrooms in there. There's still a lot of stuff in there, so it really needs to be cleaned out the rest of the way. New roof first thing, and then whatever updates to the electrical, heat, whatnot.
Yeah, I think that leaving that commercial kitchen until later would be a big savings.
That used to be a pretty successful restaurant. 41, so it was quite kitchen pizza.
I had been hoping that we'd find somebody to really operate a restaurant out of there, instead of got the ownership. Yeah.
Okay, I'm interested in this, the city of Syracuse's plans to raise funds for the renovations. That's, gonna be interesting, how that's going to set.
I mean, I would think it would be eligible for CDBG.
Right,
It's a service that is fine.
with their things.
Right. It's not like better time to go around.
Should you want to hold this until the codes walks through, is that what you?
I would be. Want to know exactly what they want, sure that they're able to handle
So have her come back with a budget that aligns with what it says.
The consensus of the board. Only do the board on the.
Not really taking any action.
You're not taking any action, you guys just want more information, so I think it's just tabled
Yeah,
for now.
consensus and we want.
Yeah, so you're just tabling it, 'cause I don't think there's no action, so.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so what I can see, where multiple properties you see is certain.
There are just 3 of them. On page 30, 2 of these are properties that we sold that are in default on their enforcement mortgages. They are also delinquent on taxes, so I'd rather see the city foreclose and wipe out the tax balances as well. That's Grant and Anetta. And then 261 Ashdale is just a garage, and the city is in the process of foreclosing on the house next door that's a rental property. And then one of them, all of them.
Any questions for the board? Let's promotion of part of multiple properties in city services. Jonathan and Rosie, all in favor, aye. Any opposed? Okay, so sell 332 to 34 West Kennedy Street to home headquarters.
We sold properties right next to each other on South Ave to Jubilee for them to build new homes on, but because they're using headquarters as AHOP grant, they put link in the headquarters so that they didn't do the work. And the first one has gone up and it looks good. The other one hasn't started yet because the neighbor is really giving them a hard time about building there. They don't want the house that close to them. So Carrie's inclined to give up and build a house somewhere else. And I said, well, I don't want the lot back, but you're not gonna build on it, no one's gonna build on it. So
Sell it to that.
we're gonna help them merge it with the neighboring property. But they would like to buy 332-34 West Kennedy Street for $5,000 to put the house there.
Questions? Motion to sell 33234 West Kennedy Street to home headquarters. Joe Shiana. Second, Jonathan, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, procure multiple demolitions.
Page. Page is 89 of your packet. I have a table here of demos that recently put out a bid. I am just concerned about putting all of our eggs in one basket, it's always a little backed up. So for the most part, I'm recommending we go with the lowest bidder, with the exception of these 4. You can see where Fiscally is the lowest bidder, but I'm award those to Scanlon instead, so that we can keep it pretty good.
Crystal is aware that it was not, it was kind of.
Yes, they're aware of that. They would rather we swap out different properties, but figure, take it away.
Best interest of the land.
Yeah. Right.
In best interest of the neighborhood and city too, so. Any questions of any of these properties or?
No, I was direction there.
You okay with the strategy there?
Yeah, I like what you said, it's in the best interest of land bank in the city to
Well, I
bring
mean,
these out because there's a capacity issue with all of these.
sometimes that's an overlooked issue, and that should. So I'll ask for a motion to recur multiple demolitions. Second is motion now, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. For procure tree removal with stick windows.
You see that we have 3 bids for some tree removal that needs to be done. This would be using state grant funding. So we're seeking your authorization to contract with the lowest bidder, Native American tree experts.
Any questions? Okay, I'll ask for a motion to procure tree removal with stick windows. So, second, Jonathan, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
I do have a different question to leave to this. How are we doing on the spending?
So we ended up getting down to spending about $300,000, or at least, yes, of the $500,000. Again, that was just due to the deadline and their problems with first bidding out the project. But actually work is being done, has been being done the last couple of weeks over there too. So we're moving along and we're hoping to bid it out now. We did the entire project in the next month or so. We're working through some compliance and approval issues with the state. We think their timing is much better. This time around, if you recall, last time we bid it out, it was like kind of already getting into spring. The contractors were already busy, booked up, and we're hoping better luck this time around. We did leave a little money on the table for saving America's treasures, which is frustrating, but I think part of their help, we did I think a pretty good job getting a good amount of that spent. And again, and also being faithful to our original application to the National Park Service call wars.
Thank you.
Okay.
We have a motion and a second on that. Who's voting? Did I miss it?
And the tree leaving?
Yes.
Yes. we
Okay.
did. So, okay, we purchase quote 6B 12 South State Street 211 the rear site.
The appraised value of all three, or I'm sorry, that's. Yes, I don't know why I'm mixing up the words appraisal and assessment in my head right now. The appraised value for these three properties is $39,000, and so I would like to sell them for the appraised value. They also want to recoup $2,400 in fees for the appraisals themselves. Which I'm arguing about because we didn't want it to be appraised. They are the ones that require it to be appraised for their sales process. But I guess I'd like to get your authorization for the $39,000 plus possibly the additional $2,400 if we're able to argue about it.
I wondered why they got them. How did they get it? So,
Yeah, I didn't get that information. But they're small parcels. It's not like they would have been a big commercial project like they're often involved in.
we just want to unload them on us.
So we want them because they're adjacent to other properties beyond. So,
So there is
Usually it's something.
yeah, if you look at this diagram here, which is on page 31 of your packet, they're right in the middle of other clusters of properties as well. Yeah, otherwise I wouldn't recommend it. They're in investment.
They don't want me to interfere with the negotiations, but they can sell to you for less. Because they're all in it. I'm sure that
Really shiver doesn't that? That was such that.
Yeah, I mean, we have, once we fire, it, we'll have to do something to take care of it.
Right.
So,
That's a good reason.
I've been trying to get these from them for.
Yeah, that's why I
probably
don't hear it.
5 or 6 years, yeah.
That's a good reason to have.
Yeah.
Wipe away that $2,400.
Much as something that money.
yeah. So we're just all happy with you for luck. They're meeting right here. We could probably get this done today.
I should get my mouth shut.
John, that's what you're here for. Good job. So
So I'm looking for authorization for
a negotiation.
not to exceed $41,400.
Michael, second. Is there a second?
Yeah.
Motion. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Enter into a contract with City Streets for $150,000 stabilized bladed structure to Bagelot and
Can you give us a little bit more background information on the grant that you're proposing to sub-grant to us?
So the city was awarded $600,000 from the Department of Health and Justice Services to do septic work and crime preventing design work within identified areas within the city. So a portion of that money is set aside for vacant land, so being able to clear vacant lots that are overgrown with trees, diseased trees. Also put up fencing and then do some community oriented programming. We do want some contract with the land bank for $150,000 so that you all can stabilize properties within your inventory. Unfortunately, the funds can't be used for demolition, but that would be ideal in some of these cases. But I think if you could do new roof, porch siding, new paint jobs, on some of the properties within the high crime areas, I think kind of stabilize the neighborhood. And then we have a few other portions of the funds set aside for blight busting, which is a program where the city will actually pay a contractor to remediate exterior code violations and then bill the property owner for it. If they don't pay it, then it goes on their taxes. So that was a program that was founded to target banks that have properties that really want foreclosure, but they were open to expanding that to property owners that own multiple vacant properties across the city and are not in Texas. So we would like to subcontract with you all, do more comprehensive neighborhood revitalization. So there's a limiting property we can address, and then light bus one next to it, deal with the vacant lot on the street, we can deter crime.
That's great. And this is a state agency?
Yes,
I'm not familiar with
criminal justice services.
Gotcha. Do you know, because it's a state contract, we'll have to do, I'm assuming environmental reasons, what we do?
No, so no, yeah,
Wow, okay,
they said demolitions would trigger the environmental services.
gotcha. Okay, well, that makes life easier. Thank you. Appreciate
Any
it.
questions?
Great.
Hearing none, ask for a motion to enter a contract with city service for $150,000 stabilized wood structure with raising let's carry. So moved. All in favor? Aye. We opposed? Okay. Aye. You, executive director's complaint.
Typically you do discuss this in executive session, so if you would like, we could jump the discussion item up ahead of that, so that folks don't have to wait around in the hallway or hear the discussion of that. But I just wanted to give you an update that we got 15 more foreclosed properties this month, last week. We're in the process of doing intakes on those now. And then last month, we sent that letter to the mayor requesting about 90 strategic vacant lots that would be good for infill construction, and Mo, you're working on getting those on council agendas.
Yes,
I imagine some of them have probably already been.
so we're seeing a little bit where each one is in the process. And mayor has given directive to all departments, that's the finance, all that involved, so.
Would it make sense, I know a lot of those are city owned, would it make sense to put, you're spreading them out over multiple council intervals, put those first, because they can be on the very next closing.
Right, yeah, so I did see any legislative requests to assess that there were some issues with formatting with some documents that were generated from ETAC, so they won't be on the agenda for September 29th, but they're shooting for the first September, to have all the city.
Oh, cool, thank you. You read my mind. That was great, thank you.
I'd like to commend you all for the patience she exhibits for the council study session.
Their concerns are very well. We're taking a look at all the top of the properties, see those backlog properties, and we're looking at those ones.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Okay, so there was a discussion and now we'll adjourn to.
You could take a minute, if you'd like to, you could make a motion to enter executive session to discuss the employment history of a particular person.
You want to do that?
So moved by Oceana.
It's actually a second. Favor, aye.
And you can invite whoever you like to say, and otherwise,
Once you say, John.
the board will reconvene.
And I'm trying to. Let's bring this outside. Not impossible. Oh, I need some IT lessons. Thank you, come on for, I was gonna grab that. Thank you.
Good job, you're doing great, you're doing great.
Around for a lot of birthdays, actually.
That's true.
Not over the years, I've celebrated a few of these.
I don't remember.
Took the computer? Oh, no, there it is. Good.
We're back in on, like today, ask for a motion to renew second director's appointment. Second, Jonathan, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? No. Okay, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you.
Favor?
Okay, yeah, I did.
Okay, cool.
It was a little.
I don't know, you ever-